The story begins with a few mountain lions roaming near the forest. They were all family members. The lion begged his family never to trust humans, as they can be very dangerous. Always stay away from them, as they can take your life at any moment. Hearing this, the youngest lion says, "But aren't we mountain lions good? Then why would they take our lives? Because we don't harm anyone either." The dad says that's true, but humans can change their attitude at any time, so trusting them is nothing short of foolishness. However, the youngest lion still refuses to accept this. He wasn't ready. He wanted to learn about humans. That's why, despite his dad's numerous warnings, he runs off towards where the humans live. From here, the focus shifts to the main character, Jay, who is a child and wakes up suddenly from a dream about these lines. Now, let me tell you the astonishing truth about Jay. He is actually that same lion child. In reality, he is a shapeshifter with two forms, one animal and one human. He can transform into a human whenever he wishes and return to his true animal form whenever he wants. Since Jay wanted to learn about humans, that's why taking on a human form, he began living with humans, and from then on, he became separated from his family. He no longer knew where his lion mom and dad lived. When he arrived here in human form, this family adopted him, thinking he was alone. He has been living here for years, which is why he hasn't returned to his lion form. He started feeling as if he was losing his ability to become a lion. Now, he sits with his family having breakfast. They love him dearly and never make him feel like an outsider. The family consists of a mum, dad, and two sisters. Everyone is unaware that a lion in human form lives among them. It was once reported in the news that suddenly a large number of birds attacked a plane, causing it to lose control and forcing an emergency landing. Fortunately, no lives were lost, but there was significant damage. This wasn't the first time, as animals and birds had previously joined forces to attack humans. It seemed as if they had formed a group to trouble humans. Whatever the reason behind this, scientists were researching it. Upon seeing this news, Jay and his family were very surprised. The next day, Jay's sister and mum were taking him to his new school because he had to continue his studies from there, however. Joanna didn't want to go, but he had to on Emily's insistence because they wanted Jay to open his mind a bit and feel better. He needed to learn about the world. At night, when they stopped at a hotel to rest, he saw some wolves heading towards a factory with a particular purpose, which surprised him quite a bit. In the morning, they reached the school where the head welcomed them and asked for his name and such. She then reassured his mum by saying that the next time you come to visit, you'll see quite a few positive changes. There's no need to worry because everyone here, they lived together with a lot of affection. Hearing this, Mum also felt reassured and said goodbye before leaving. After they left, the headmistress said to Jay, "We know everything about you, that you are not human but a shapeshifter, and not just you, every child here is a shapeshifter. They are all trained here so that they can live well with both their forms. So, tell me, which animal are you?" Hearing this, Jay was surprised that they knew. So he revealed, "I am a mountain lion," which left the headmistress quite astonished. Sighed. She was also pleased because today, for the first time, a lion came to their school. That's why she tells Jay that everyone will really like him and introduces him to the other children. Everyone greets him warmly except for a child named Jeffrey, who was a wolf and becomes angry. Jay deals with him quite sternly. He asks what a lion is doing here because being a wolf, he used to rule here. But now that a lion has come, and since a lion is considered the king of two animals, he feared that his place might be taken away. Jeffrey starts to fight, but the others intervene and stop the fight. Now, the head introduces Jay to a man who is actually an android. He's the one who he invites shapeshifters from all over the world here because he himself was a shapeshifter, a lion as well. Therefore, seeing Jay here brings him the most joy. He asks, "Do you know where your real mom and dad live? And how did you end up living with humans, leaving your lion family behind?" He then shares that a few years ago, when he was young, despite his dad's disapproval, he ran away and started living with humans. Since then, he doesn't know where his family is, nor has he been able to transform into his lion form since that day. He feels as if he has lost his power to become a lion. Then Andrew says, "That's why we brought you here so that you can confront your power and understand it and see how much better you will become." He shows him to his room where he was going to stay and he meets his roommate who was a sweet squirrel. We find out that here, predators, dangerous animals and innocent prey all live together. No one is allowed to fight because fighting is only permitted in class, so all the animals get along very well. Now, the squirrel girl who had become friends with him was taking me to the class, which was in the forest. The class time had begun. At that moment, the squirrel girl's friend also joined them. She was an animal with many antlers on her head. When all the children came to the class, their teacher taught them how to control their animal transformation powers. Upon learning that Jay was a new student, he started with him. He asked Jay to show everyone what he was and to transform into his animal form. Jay tried to become a lion, but due to not transforming for so many years, he couldn't manage it. Then the head came over and said to close his eyes and imagine being in the jungle with his family. In this way, You'll find it easier to transform. So, hurry up. As soon as he closes his eyes, he sees his lion dad, who was showing him how to live in the jungle. Seeing this, Jay finally takes on his lion form. Seeing him become a lion, all the children were happy, and they all transformed into their animal forms and started roaming in the jungle. After the class ended, another roommate arrived who was a bison. Now, as the three of them lived together, they became quite good friends. When Jay went to the canteen with his friends, he saw Jeffrey, who was bothering the other students. Jeffrey, the friend, is one of the wolves and they bully the weaker animals. Seeing this, Jay felt bad and told Jeffrey that bothering other animals is against the rules here and you cannot break the rules. Understand? Jeffrey got angry and said, "Now you're going to teach me. Even if you are a lion, we are 5 wolves, so don't mess with us. We will overpower you and eat you right here." In anger, they started growling at each other. But before the lion and the wolves could fight, a teacher stopped their fight. He also warned them that if they fought outside the class again, both would be punished. The next day, all the kids come to the fighting class for practice. The teacher first has the bear girl fight Jay's friend, Bison. The point of the fight is not to launch real attacks or get hurt. It's just practice, so that what they learn now can be useful in a real fight. However, Bison loses, so Jay is called to fight the bear girl. Again, he tries several times to transform into an animal but fails. Then an android gives him a pouch. As soon as Jay smells it, he instantly becomes a lion. The pouch contains the essence of the mountains. Waking up slowly, Jay felt like he was still in the mountains with his family. He had become a lion and defeated the bear girl. The android tells Jay to keep the pouch as it helps him become a lion. He offers to train Jay, asking if he's ready. Jay happily agrees, thinking it's great. If a senior lion will train him, then later Jeffrey approaches Jay, saying the fight didn't happen last time and he'll be waiting in the forest tonight. If you're brave, come and fight. Hearing this, Jay feels energized. He thinks, as a wolf, he's challenging me. He is challenging the lion to a fight. Clearly, he couldn't tolerate it, so he accepts the challenge thinking that he will teach him a good lesson. But at night, when Jay went into the forest with his friends, he saw that in the fight that was supposed to be one-on-one, Jeffrey had included his friends, and now all 4 wolves were attacking the lone lion from all sides. Initially, Jay fights with great courage, but gradually he starts to lose heart. Seeing Jay's life in danger, his friend transforms into a bison and confronts the wolves, attacking and driving them away, thus saving Jay's life. The next day, the android takes Jay out for a walk. On the way, he mentioned that he knew everything that happened between you and Jeffrey last night, but you are a lion who can defeat the wolves without anyone's help. You shouldn't need the bison. To this you replied that you did fight, but defeating all 4 at once was very difficult. Then Android said, "It's alright, gradually you will become perfect. This is just the beginning, and eventually, even if 4 or 10 come before you, you will be able to defeat them easily. However, to become like that, you will need to work hard." He drops the reason back at school. The head teacher tells Andrew, "Listen, if you focus on Jay, it will affect the other kids. We should treat everyone equally." Then Android said, "Jay is unique and he needs guidance in that special area, which I will provide, and I will give him special training." Saying this, he left. Now, because Jeffrey, his friends, and Jay fought outside the class, they are all punished with kitchen duty. But then, a sly girl secretly takes Jay with her into the forest, where a school council meeting was happening. She tells me that all these people are human. They make plans to cause harm. As you might have heard, animals and birds have attacked humans, and it was these people who orchestrated it to harm humans, just like hunters harm animals. At that moment, a bird flies in, which is none other than the head, as she is also part of this group, leaving Jay quite surprised. The next day, the android takes Jay into the forest to train him and teach him how to hunt. After learning a bit, Jay makes his first kill, which brings him great joy. At night, Jay sees Jeffrey and his friends heading towards a factory. He proceeds to follow them in order to discover what they are intending to do. The wolves scare off the guard. Then, just as they are damaging the machine, Jay's African gaze falls upon Jay. Angrily, he says, "Are you spying on us? How dare you keep an eye on us? I'll make sure you won't get away this time, and there will be no one to save you." But before their fight escalates, the android arrives and stops them, telling Jeffrey, "Let's hurry and get out of here or we might get caught." Hearing this, it became clear that whatever Jeffrey was doing, he was doing it on the android's instructions. Then the android said, "Come with me and I'll explain everything that's happening here." After that, Andrew explains, "We animals didn't used to hate humans, but now we detest them greatly. You see, that factory has cleared half the forest. They've cut everything down and built a factory here from which chemicals are released, causing countless innocent animals to lose their lives. We animals feel that humans have no concern for the environment. Humans were responsible for the deaths of my daughter and wife. Although they were not at fault, they were just wandering in the forest, which is their home. But humans didn't leave them alone even there. Moreover, instead of improving over time, humans are becoming worse. They are becoming even worse. Now they are destroying more forests and killing animals. Seeing this, we have formed our own team whose aim is to trouble humans so that they cannot live peacefully in their own place. Just as they do not let animals live in the forests, which is our place. We called you here for this mission because you are very special and I am sure you will definitely support us. Then we will also show humans what we are and what their worth is. Hearing this, Jay was completely shocked and did not immediately respond, but said that he needed some time to decide whether he should help them or not. The android also agreed, saying that was fine. But do give a quick response as a very big mission is approaching. We will need your help with it. The next day, while Jay was racing with his friends, he collided with a car on Bison Road. Fortunately, no one was harmed. It turned out that the car belonged to Jay's family, who had come to visit him. They had realized that Jay was very happy here. They told Jay that they were going hacking on Saturday and invited him to join, assuring him it would be great fun. He agreed to go. After they left, he received a call from Android who asked what he had decided, as they were going on the mission on Saturday. So, are you joining us? He declines, saying, I'm not coming. I have plans with my family. Upon hearing this, Andrew became quite angry. He said, decide whether you're with humans or animals. Then he abruptly hung up. Jay was also quite angry, wondering why Android had spoken in such a manner. In his anger, he runs as far into the forest as he can. When he stops to rest at a spot, some hunters arrive who spot Jay with the help of a drone and release dogs to kill him, as their plan was to take Jay with them after doing so. However, a rumor reaches there. It turns out to be a shapeshifter who is also a student from the same school. She first breaks the drone and then starts helping Jay towards the school. But when Jay gets tired, he sits down to rest at a spot. But just then, the hunting dogs arrive here. But before she transformed into her human form, leaving the dogs bewildered, wondering what had just happened. The android approached Jay and said, I tried to find your family line and I discovered that the hunters have killed them all as well. So, will you help the humans who have taken away what was yours? Now, you must join us. Hearing this, it saddened Jay greatly that I would never be able to meet my family again. In this anger, he agrees to support Jay, whose plan entry explains to the entire team, detailing what each person needs to do. First, they need to scare off the guards. Then, they must destroy the large machines, followed by causing an explosion in the sector by short-circuiting. Everyone agreed to this. But Jay tells Andrew that while they need to ruin human possessions to teach them a lesson, no human life should be lost in the process. The condition is that no android will harm anyone. Only the destruction of human possessions will occur. Before the plan begins, Jay's family calls and asks, Aren't you coming, son? We're going hacking. He replies, I'm sorry, but I won't be able to make it this time. You all go and enjoy. I've got some important work to do. After this, he heads towards the factory with the android and the others. These call up on some of Labo the 100 and his team reach the hill above the factory where they have placed large logs to destroy the machines by throwing them down. But just before the plan starts, Jay notices something below. His family had come for hacking. The logs were going to fall at this place too. He realized that this way, his entire family was sure to die. He panicked. He told everyone to stop, that they couldn't do this. Stop the plan right here, but no one was willing to listen to him. That's why he called the android and said, Please stop the machine, my family is down there, their lives are in danger and you said you wouldn't put anyone's life at risk. Andrew replied, Oh, it's such a big mission, some people are bound to lose their lives, don't worry. Besides, it's not like they're your own family, is it? Saying this, he hung up the phone, very angry. He realized he had made a huge mistake by siding with the android and became worried because he couldn't do anything on his own. However, just in time, his friends arrived because they understood that he was in some kind of trouble and came to help him. This gave him some relief, knowing that his companions were there. But now they started fighting alongside the android to complete the mission. Meanwhile, the android also arrived in a line formation, and as the fight began, the ropes holding the logs loosened and they started to fall. Fortunately, Jay's family, who was standing below, saw the logs coming and managed to move out of the way. They move out of the way. However, Jackie's younger sister, who was listening to music on her headphones, doesn't hear anything. But before the logs could fall on her and endanger her life, Jay arrives just in time to save his sister. Now, the android's plan had succeeded, but fortunately, Jay's family was also safe, which made him very happy. He goes to the entrance and shouts at it, saying that it had lied to him about not harming humans, and therefore he would never trust anything it said again. Saying this, he returns to school with his friends, where everyone is ready. To his incredibly courageous action, the underlying message conveyed by this film was that one should never inflict harm upon the forest and its creatures. And with this, the movie reaches its conclusion here.